Wow, Best Actor, who would have thought? Thank you for this Oscar. I'm so thankful. I just want to thank the Boss Baby, most importantly, for being my favorite fictional character. Absolutely love it. I want to thank Tom Hanks for losing once again, losing the Oscar, and I won. I'm a winner. I never lose. I'm the best. And yeah, just thank you so much. Oh, and I want to thank Jesus. And I want to thank my grandma. I love her sweet, sweet cookies. And can't wait to be here the next 10 years. Never gonna lose because I'm the best actor in the world. Hello everyone, I'm Ian, and this is Ianscheese, and today I'm going to be giving you some of my early Oscar predictions for the 92nd Academy Awards. Now I know this year's Oscars don't take place until February 9th, 2020, but I just absolutely love the Oscars. I love talking about these movies that come out in 2019, and I just love making predictions, and it's one of my favorite things to do. I'm a huge movie buff, and I love all the movies nominated at the Oscars. If you see behind me, I've got a poster for the Best Picture winner, Moonlight, that came out a few years ago. One of the biggest Oscar shockers in history. If you see behind me, I also have an Emoji Movie poster because, you know, that won Best Picture. But like I said, I'm a big movie buff. I'm a big Oscar buff. I'm even wearing a t-shirt that I got at an AMC theater because they do this thing every year called the AMC Best Picture Showcase, where they show all the Oscar nominees at the end of the year. I've been doing that for the past 6 or 7 years, and I'm gonna be doing it again this year. I did a prediction video like this a couple years ago, and I actually had all of the predictions right. It was the year when The Shape of Water won Best Picture, and I actually predicted it correctly a few months before the show. So without further ado, let's see if I can correctly predict the Oscar nominees once again for Best Picture. So just a few honorable mentions right here. Us, directed by Jordan Peele, stars Lupita Nyong'o. It's about a family who runs into another family that's like an evil version of themselves. It got great reviews and made a ton of money, but I'm putting it in the honorable mentions because I'm just not sure if the Academy is going to nominate a horror film like this. They did nominate Jordan Peele's Get Out, but that wasn't as much as a horror as Us was. Another honorable mention, Motherless Brooklyn, directed by Edward Norton. The movie stars Norton, Willem Dafoe, Bruce Willis, Alec Baldwin. Who voices the boss, baby?
I'm Alec Baldwin, and you are seconds away from seeing a sneak peek of DreamWorks' new animated film, The Boss Baby.
It's about a private investigator with Tourette's syndrome who works to solve the mystery of his mentor's murder in 1950s New York. Sounds interesting. Could get nominated. The King, a movie based off of some of Shakespeare's work. It stars Timothée Chalamet, Joel Edgerton, Robert Pattinson, Ben Mendelsohn. It's a big historical drama about King Henry. And the final honorable mention is Dolomite Is My Name, starring Eddie Murphy and Wesley Snipes. Eddie Murphy plays Rudy Ray Moore, a comedian, and this might be Eddie Murphy's comeback movie, hopefully, so I'm really looking forward to it. So those are my honorable mentions. Let's get into my top 10. These aren't necessarily in any particular order, but they're all movies I'm looking forward to. Number 10, The Report, directed by Scott Z. Burns. It stars Adam Driver and Annette Bening, and Driver plays a staffer who is given the task of investigating torture techniques after 9/11. It's a political drama. It premiered earlier this year at Sundance and got pretty good reviews, so I'm putting it at number 10. Next up is The Laundromat, directed by Steven Soderbergh and starring Meryl Streep and Gary Oldman. The movie's about a group of journalists who take part in unearthing 11 million files linking to the world's most powerful political figures. Pretty much anything Meryl Streep does gives her an Oscar nomination, so there's that. And then also Gary Oldman is very well known. Just won an Oscar a few years ago for The Darkest Hour. Number 8 is Harriet, a movie based off of the life of abolitionist Harriet Tubman. Not saying slave drama is always get nominated, but they're very important movies and they're really good. I loved 12 Years a Slave, and this is kind of a movie I feel like that kind of has to deal with that. Number 7 is The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese, and this is a movie that has been in production for the past few years. It has tons and tons of special effects in it. Apparently they're getting actors like Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, and they're making them like really young looking with special effects, and it's gone way over budget, 200 million, and it's also coming out on Netflix, and it's not having a very long theatrical premiere. And because of all these problems, I think it's gonna get nominated for Best Picture. This seems like a big special effects feat that hasn't really been done before, and I think the Academy will award Martin Scorsese, who is usually always nominated at the Oscars. At number 6 on the list, we have The Lighthouse, directed by Robert Eggers and stars Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. It's a black and white film about a couple of sailors who go like crazy or something. It's directed by the same guy who made The Witch, which I think is a really good movie. It's kind of a freaky, scary movie. I personally want to watch it if I was you. And it's being produced by A24, and they usually have a movie every single single year that gets nominated at the Oscars. At number 5, we have Little Women, directed by Greta Gerwig and stars Meryl Streep, Saoirse Ronan, Timothée Chalamet, Florence Pugh, and just a ton of other really known actors. Greta Gerwig also directed Lady Bird, which was nominated a couple years at the Oscars for Best Picture. It's based off of the popular novel Little Women that came out in 1868, and it's got an ensemble cast. It just seems like a movie that Greta Gerwig is supposed to make, and I feel like it's going to be seen at the Oscars just like Lady Bird was. And number 4 is The Goldfinch, directed by John Crowley, who directed Brooklyn, that came out a few years ago, which was also nominated for Best Picture. The trailer came out about a month ago, but it looks really, really good. I love the plot. It's about a kid who lives with his mother and grows up to be an art thief. I loved the trailer. I loved Brooklyn. That was a really good movie. And number 3 on the list is Ford vs. Ferrari. It's directed by James Mangold and stars Matt Damon and Christian Bale. It's a biographical film about 2 engineers who are trying to build like the fastest car in history. You've probably seen the trailer. It looks pretty funny. It looks like a good film, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. Number 2 is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, starring Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers. The trailer just came out a few days ago, and it looks really good. I love Tom Hanks. I love Mr. Rogers. I think he's perfect to play him. And the final film on this list, number 1, even though I said they're in no particular order, number 1 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. There's a good chance you've probably heard of this movie. It's one of the biggest movies of the year. It has Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, about a couple of Hollywood actors who get involved in the Manson murders in the 60s. Quentin Tarantino always gets nominated at the Oscars. I absolutely love his films. They're some of my favorite. I love Pulp Fiction and The Hateful Eight and Django Unchained. This movie's coming out very soon when I post this video. I'm probably gonna go see it in theaters, and I can't wait to see it again at the end of the year when I go to the Oscar Best Picture Showcase at AMC to see all of these great Oscar films that I just correctly predicted in this video. I am such an Oscar genius. I want to hear your predictions in the comments below. Write down some movies that you're looking forward to that you think might get nominated. Do you like my predictions? Do you not like them? Tell me about that too. So thanks for watching, everybody. I have to go right now and write my Oscar speech just in case I get nominated for Best Actor this year. I was in one of the most popular films you probably never heard of. I can't say any more details. I'm sorry. It's a secret project, but I'll probably get nominated for Best Actor because I'm just such a great actor. Sorry, everybody. I can't give any more details. Please stop the cameras, please. There's no cameras here. Bye.